the homeless thing's interesting. How did you get into that? Because that's how I know you. I know you from the rough sleeping stuff and what you did on knife crime. And then you kind of moved into a lot of other things after that, which were awesome.
So most of my life has been a series of consequences, good luck, fortune, and just mishaps. I got involved in rough sleeping because I worked for Manchester Council. I was promoted and got the job in charge of Manchester City Centre in terms of reducing crime and antisocial behaviour. And under that remit came rough sleeping, street drinking, and there was something else to do with rough sleeping. I forgot what it was now. And that was my first introduction to rough sleeping. I chaired a multi-agency panel with the NHS, the police, the council, lots of services about how we're going to address these individuals. How do we stop them offending, causing problems, ruining the city's reputation? And at that point, 20 years ago, there was something like 17 people sleeping rough in Manchester. Let me say that again, 17. At the moment, there's a couple of hundred now in Manchester city centre, a couple of hundred. There was 17 when I ran the city centre. That's how bad this situation's become. And that was my introduction. And then when I left the council, I set a charity up working with kids to stop them getting involved in crime. And then a few years later, I decided to expand and create a new project running alongside that in the charity to work with rough sleepers in the city centre to get them into accommodation because the services we had weren't good enough. It was all about, this is what we can do to you. There was no customer service. There was none of this. What would you like? Because you need a choice. This is your life. It was all about, this is what we can do. Do you want it? No. Okay, bye-bye. That doesn't solve anything. And we're paying for these services through our tax money. And these services were almost useless. So I set a project up, and in the first year, or not the first year, in about the third year, we got 44 people off the streets and into accommodation in 1 year on a budget of £20,000.
So it can be
So
done.
this problem is easy to clear up if you have the right mindset. If you're not worried about being called, we used to get hashtag nasty charity because we weren't taking anyone's BS about why they're on the streets. It's not my fault. It's social services. It's this. It's like we need to start off with the truth. The truth is that it is your fault, isn't it? And we'd have discussions and end up making them see and understand that it was their fault for making a series of poor choices. And once you can get them to understand that, offering them help and getting them help and making sure they want to accept that help, it's a lot easier. But you can't get people to take help if you encourage them to live in unreality.